Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do a commander deck tech on a commander I've wanted to do for a long time. Kind of a shit tier command, a bit of a troll build, but good fun, and the deck is pretty budget. Lovisa Coldeyes. It's a tribal deck based around Barbarians, Warriors, and Berserkers. All up, this deck's about 130 bucks on TCG Player. You could build it a bit cheaper if you want to skim the parts of the quality, or you could just ramp it up, but about 100 bucks, give or take, 130 really for this build. So Lovisa herself, 5 mana, 3/3, Human Lord. All Barbarians, Warriors, and Berserkers get +2/+2 and have haste. Says it for everyone, include your opponent too. Weird tribes, I'm not gonna lie, Barbarian and Berserkers are pretty crap. Not many good creatures in there. Warriors, they got you covered, they're good. And the haste part really does catch people out. And partly why I love this deck. Her artwork is absolutely amazing. I love this commander. Just, I don't know, it's that cold, stern, I'm gonna step on you kind of look. Love it. So, 3 big game plan overall cards. Heraldic Banner. These are the kind of ramp effects you want. You choose a colour, it taps that colour, and it buffs that colour for you. You can't go wrong. Helm the Host is a win condition in this deck. Slap it on your commander, keep making tokens of her, and start stacking up that Lord effect. Hazardous Monument, godsend this card. Reduces all your other creatures by 1, which is helpful of course, and it provides you a discard and draw effect whenever you cast your creatures. Being in red, draw, not that great. So Barbarians first, only got 3 here because they are pretty shit. Keldon Warlord, all the way back from Alpha. This is the 5th edition though. Power and toughness equal to number of non-walls you control. With this and your commander out, he's still a 4/4 because your commander's buff, and then on he'll only get bigger. Kamal the Pit Fighter could be an 8/3 with your commander with haste, so you can slap in if you had to, but mainly for the tap lightning bolt effect is pretty good. Godo is only here for the equipment tutoring. There are lots of good equipment in the Barbarian build here we got, but it's mainly for the Helm of the Host. You get that out, slap it on your commander, and that will win you the game there, hopefully. Berserkers, a little bit more love here. Hardened Berserker, great little janky common. Whenever attacked, your next spell costs 1 less to cast. Love it. Kolaghan's Forerunner, very much like the Keldon Warlord, but it's only on its power, but it does include all your creatures, and it has Trample at 3 mana. Frenzied Goblin, just removing blockers for 1 mana can come in handy, sometimes enough to get damage through. Stormblood Berserker, just a creature of value. 2 mana 1/1, but has Bloodthirst 2, so if your opponent's lost life, comes with some counters, and it's basically got Menace. Has to be blocked by 2 more creatures. Other Berserkers, Anj Ravager. Try saying that 3 times. It's a 3 mana 3/3, has to attack each turn unfortunately, but whenever it attacks, ditch your hand, draw 3 cards. That is the main part of this deck. And it has Madness, which could come in handy. We do have a bit of a discard theme in our draw section, but a refill on a creature is very important. Unchained Berserker, he's just a 1/1, 2 mana, but he gets a buff when he attacks himself, becomes a 3/1. But he is pro-white, which will come in handy, removal, blockers, things like that. Plus, you sack your commander's Lord effect on there. Scab Clan Berserker, it's cheap, can become a 4/4 commander. If we get it renowned, it will start to punish our opponents if they try and play non-creatures, which is just a bit of taxing effect. Alright, on to Warriors. Now, initially I didn't plan on having a goblin theme, but a lot of good goblins do fall into the warrior category, so they work well here. So Krenko, he's a warrior. We've seen Krenko before, you tap, produce goblins, easy. I should do a commander deck tech on him because he was one of my first decks I ever built, just like casual, wasn't even commander. Rebel Master, he's a warrior, pumps out tokens each turn, it's great. War Driver with the battle cries like a Lord effect across the whole team on attack. Warrior Instigator, he's a Berserker, so I've slapped him in here, but he's a goblin, so I've put him with these guys. 1/1, so he gets the buff, so it becomes a 3/3 double striker for 2 mana with your commander. That's nuts! And if he hits him, you can start putting goblins from your hand. Wasn't the intent, but it could happen. The Bushwhacker, just again, Lord effect on your team and haste can come in handy. The Bloodmark Mentor, giving your whole team first strike. And Bloodshot Trainee, I've tried to make him work before in Modern and stuff, and he works well here. You can tap him to deal 4 damage to target creature, but only if his power is 4 or greater. With Lovisa, he becomes a 4/5. So he can come to the board, tap, and just slap a creature for 4, right across the board. Paragon of the Fierce Defiance is just a Lord effect again for our team, and more haste when we want it. Archetype of Aggression, we do start building up our board, so having Trample and them not having Trample comes in great. With that +2/+2, a lot of creatures will trample some damage through. Borderland Marauder, just a good overall creature, whatever it attacks it becomes a 3/2 essentially, put your commander's buff on there too. Academy Raider, Intimidate in red is pretty fun, especially being a warrior, so you're 3/3 with your commander, and you can discard and draw cards for you. And then we've got a bit more like support utility. The Vandal here, destroy an artifact with entry, its commander, they're everywhere. The Earthshaker, it is battlefield, can remove blockers for the turn and has a turn line, so around 2, ding ding ding. Ash's Zealot, it punishes our opponents for playing in the graveyard, and they are everywhere in Commander. And Heb's a pretty interesting one. When you get some damage through, you can selectively discard things and draw cards and get some mana back. Pretty good overall card to have on a deck like this. Plus, Warrior gets the buff. Then you got some dirty things, like the Mark of Blademaster, same concept as Warren Instigator, double strike, but it gets +2/+2 from your commander, so a 3 mana 3/3 that can gain more counters with double strike, pretty spicy. The Gladiator, it's all about combat. Whenever it attacks, you deal damage, its power to target creature they control, and then it hits it back. But with your commander, it's going to be a fat 6/6 straight out the gate with haste, like choo-choo. Goblin Crater Maker, not here for combat, but being in mono red, having something that can remove a colorless non-land permanent can come in handy. Ugin and Khan in my play group. Ogre Battle Driver, just buff your creatures with more power and haste, so they've got like super haste. You should play the uncard. And rounding up here, Brightheart Banneret, he just reduces all your warriors by 1, which is a majority of your creature type. You got the Combat Celebrant here. Giving him haste through command is pretty nice. You might get an extra turn out of it. Flame Rush Rider can copy key creatures when it attacks, so things like maybe the Zealous Conscript let you steal things, which is another fun card in this deck. Alright, all good Berserkers, Barbarians and Warriors will have good equipment. Got to give them some nice boots, they've got to walk all day long, so Lightning Greaves and Swift Foot Boots are here to protect your commander and other key creatures. Sword of the Animist and the Explorer Scope help you get a lot of lands off and out of your deck. So actually get through pretty quick and ramps you quite a bit. And then you got the Tribal Equipment here for you. Rarely get to play with Tribal Equipment. Gives equipped creature 2/1 and haste. Whenever a warrior enters battlefield, attach it to it. So no equip costs there for you. And Loxodon Warhammer, just a buff, lifelink and trample. In this deck, getting a bit of life where you can, not the worst idea. Alright, supporting themes, these cards are just kind of random, but they help the deck in some way. Chandra does a bit of all. She helps gum up the board with some aggressive tokens. I love her 0, gets your hand and draw that many +1. At worst, you draw on 1 card, and she can just burn everything down. I like her, she does a bit of everything really. I love Torbrand as a commander or in commander decks. Gives all your red damage sources a little bit more kick in them, +2 to everything pretty much. You got your enchantment for super haste. We've got things like Call of Triumph, we're going to name red, we're going to buff all our red creatures. Goblin War Drums, give all our creatures menace, just to make it uncomfortable for your opponent to block. And you got the Oriflame, which again buffs our attacking creatures. Alright, time to kill it dead. Red can't really kill anything but artifacts and creatures. So we've got Lightning Bolt for a bit of creature removal, a Braid, same concept but also a bit of artifact hate. Mizzium Mortars, burn the board down. We've got our Storm's Wrath, which is our red Wrath of God now pretty much. And I still use Hour of Devastation in my playgroup because Indestructible is everywhere in my playgroup. And sometimes the 5 damage isn't enough to kill my own creatures when you got enough Lord effects stacking up. Bit of red draw, the discard draw, so things like Magmatic Insight, we ditch a land, draw 2 cards for 1 mana, pretty good. Faithful Looting, Bandabon, but I'm still playing it here. Thrill of Possibilities, Wild Guess, normal draw 2 cards, discard kind of things, and Reforge of Soul, try and get that miracle off, draw 7 cards if you can. Right, Mana Rocks, nice and simple. I didn't want to put Ruby Medallion in here because it's not a budget card, it's $10 each, but in a monocolor deck they're that good, you really need them. Fire Diamond, Star Compass are our red sources here. You got Soul Ring just for generic, you got Mind Stone, Hedron, and Commander Sphere for more ramp and draw later on when we need it. Leading into lands, very simple. Castle Emberath, just buff your team. Temple of False Gods, just extra ramp. Ghost Quarter and Field of Ruin are becoming staples in a lot of my decks because my playgroup are getting sweaty with the lands they're putting in there. Gear 2 Encampment's actually a really fun one. 2 mana, you can animate it, becomes a 2/1 red warrior with First Strike. With Commander, 2 mana, 4/3 with First Strike, I don't know, it can win games or help if you need it. And for lands, just 29 mountains, pretty simple. So like I said at the beginning, this deck is budget. The actual overall deck is I think about $130 for this exact one with the artwork. I'll have it down on Tapped Out down below. The Commander herself is like 50 cents. It is a pretty janky build, but I enjoy a good bit of jank in my life. Cheap deck, it's easy to put together. They're all pieces you can get in jank bins or common bins at your local shop. Simple game plan, pretty easy to pilot, you can put things in. Warriors are always getting printed at every set, so there's always future upgrades for it. Berserkers and Barbarians, not so much, but hey, if we ever go back to something like Khans or something where there's a lot of Barbarians and Berserk themes going on, maybe a Viking theme, you might see quite a bit. So, I love Lovisa, she's underrated, just a simple commander. Let me know your thoughts down below, or if there's any cool Barbarians, Warriors, or Berserkers you'd want to put in. Alright guys, thank you and goodbye, ta-ta. Alright guys, if you enjoyed that video, give the video a like, it helps the channel out so much. If you got any comments you want to put down, other cards you put in, you'd cut out, let me know. If you've actually ever versed a Lovisa Coldeyes deck, what did you think about it? Let me know. And if you really want to help the channel, only 10% of my viewers are subs, so if you join the group, it helps out a lot. And thank you to my patrons, you guys are amazing. Direct support, I can't thank you enough. With Lovisa, I actually bought this card individually like years ago, and I've had it sitting in the corner of my room, and I've been slowly piling up the cards, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna eventually build this deck one day, and here we are.